Hello all, this is Zimnala coming at you with another adventure in Reblade. Let's do one more just for completion's sake. We just boosted our damage up. Let's see how stupid it gets. Just once more. So most of the remaining achievements are actually for going through and basically unlocking every sword in the armories. I don't think you have to play through all of them, but it does look like every one of the swords and daggers has its own little story at the end of of the campaign, which is interesting. Oh, that didn't give me as many levels as I thought. I thought it would give us like another 5 because we got all those boosts, but it's okay. Nope, you finally maxed out the golden goblins. So that'll just guarantee that we just get gold constantly. So, I mean, I guess we're just going to max out in like no time. Well, let's go ahead and switch to the Greatsword. I guess we can unlock the next two. Yeah, as you can see, they're both there's like 3 different variations. Oh, and at the top I can see that you get extra awakening damage in the further ones, so that's interesting. As you can see, the base stats, other than like the attack, are pretty much the same going forward, so it looks like you just be able to reach higher awakening levels as you go through. So if you're gonna focus on one to get everything, it would definitely be in the last tier. Look at how many tiers there are. There's 10 tiers of this nonsense, so there's stuff in the game. But let's see how Knight and Greatsword is, and after I complete this, I'm gonna probably call this complete for the sake of recording, because essentially I have a feeling the rest of this is just gonna be a rotation of how it goes. Not to mention that we're basically gonna just be so stacked that it will be pretty much over as I go along. But just the little story tidbits at the end being the only real new thing we encounter, I imagine. I'm just gonna start grabbing stuff. We'll read it after we get into it again. So much fight. Yep, we're only missing one, as you can see, so I think my theory was correct that there's 3 main paths and then these side paths. Yep, we got all of the awakenings. Okay, let's take a look at what we get for heavy. We get a boost to attack, we get a boost to attack range, we get extra damage if we're doing a critical hit. When we hit multiple enemies, we do extra damage. Same thing here, just a higher threshold. Doing damage from the front increase, so it's the opposite of the dagger, of course. Same thing here, it's another stacking of that. This gives us extra damage for attacking slowly. This gives us a boost for attacking slower than normal. Okay, this makes the enemy take more damage when you hit them. This one makes them take extra damage if you do a critical hit. This increases your damage for hitting multiple enemies, again. This just gives you a chance to do free critical hits on hitting enough times. This gives you more damage for being below your speed. Okay, so hitting an enemy multiple times makes you do more damage to them. Okay. Well, knowing that, there are things we could do. Like, we could spec into the one that slows down our attack speed here. That should guarantee that we get what we want. I suppose. Our orc is actually being unhelpful for this. Okay, there's not much we can do about that. Okay, then that's just not going to work on that front. So that actually makes this class just unlikely to do the most damage, if that makes sense, this weapon. There's not too much we could do about that. Although I guess if we take that as well, we'd get more delay out of it. Actually, I might actually have to level up to finish this. That's crazy. Guess we could just buy some upgrades, that might help. Yeah, definitely not as strong for sure. I mean, we could just spec into like ice and fire and probably just absolutely sweep. I guess we also haven't done a regular stage in a while, so that might make a difference. No. The consecutive damage is actually really adding up for that. Well, we're starting to fight the flyers. Well, this tank's just gonna absolutely go down. Honestly, the final boss is probably just gonna go down too. Such a chariot. It didn't stand a chance. Let's get our story. The gatekeeper's final breath. The knight's great sword has lifted its long silence. Now this great sword rests in your hand. The blade is etched with deep notches, and the grip still bears the imprint of two hands. The mark of a man who held on for a long, long time. Once this great sword belonged to the last gatekeeper of a falling castle. To buy his comrades time to flee, he stood alone before the gates, sword in hand. He held back countless foes, yet one final breath slipped past him. You drew that breath in his place. The great sword no longer needs to endure, and at last it may be sat down. Okay. I mean, I've been considering, just thinking about it, I might actually just slowly go through this, because I'm gonna play through anyway. But I mean, I just won't do it like in super long sessions, I think. I think I'll just pick it up every now and then when I have just a couple of loose hours here and there, and we'll do some more of this as we go along, because there's a lot of swords to go through, and I don't think they're really gonna significantly change as I play, so. Let's go ahead and do a normal round just to see like how our skill ceiling is with just base skills. Like, we're definitely killing things. No need to get that twisted. Yeah, this is the difference in the Greatsword versus like the dagger though. It's just qualitatively a different situation. Well, we are still leveling though. I mean, the one nice thing is that our attacks do kind of cover nearly the whole map. So, there is that at least. Oh, actually, I didn't mean to do that. I guess it would let us respec into ice, though. Or fire. Fire or ice. But now we know how busted they are versus everything else. There's not really much point in speccing into another thing. But we tried speccing into all of their base stats just to see like how beating it like that would be. It just doesn't quite pay out, as you can see. Yep, so we're only one skill short. Yep, let's give it a shot. We're just getting some easy levels while we can. Oh, you know what? We haven't actually been investing our money, so we might actually be a little stronger than this. Oopsie doodle. Alright, it didn't give me as much more of a boost as I thought it would. We'll return to the menu. We'll start poking our way through them. Alright, so we can look at how the armories progress too. So this is just like a bare as just a wooden pallet wall. This looks more like a dungeon barbarian set with furs and nice nice horned animals. Go ahead and buy one of these. Forest elf. Aw, man, why are the elves stronger? That makes no sense. Doesn't look significantly stronger either. Okay, let's go ahead and get that. And go in. We'll go ice this time. I do think ice might edge out things anyway. I mean, with the increased experience for that, I think we're not going to have much trouble maxing things out. I mean, these are absolutely just going to get bodied, so... There's like 0% chance we don't just win at this stage. I guess we'll get our barbarian sword story though. That didn't take very long. Our barbarian unpaid blood debt. Barbarian's sword has slaked its long thirst. Now this sword rests in your hand. A dark, undried aura clings to the blade, and the grip is wound twice over with rough leather cord, the mark of a man who held it like a beast. Once this sword belonged to the last surviving child of a tribe. That night the plains burned, and with only the single sword in hand, he set out to hunt down those who had wronged him. Many heads fell beneath his blade, but the throat of the very last one always slipped from his grasp. You took that final breath in his place. The thirst that clung to the sword has at last been quenched, and now the blade may rest in peace. I mean, the one thing it's missing is the ability to re-see the stories for each sword. Because that would be cool, is if you could get like a collection of all their stories in one place as you go. Yeah. We'll give it some quick levels this way. Let us buy another sword or so. Yeah, the extra levels certainly do make it easier to build up anyway. Yep, so now ice is sorted out. We raised our damage, so let's see where this goes. I guess it's probably gonna peter out at like 75 like before. We did have to grind quite a lot more to even get there, so this was pretty fast. Okay, so now we can go ahead and head back out. Credits doesn't like show us our endings, right? Nope, sure does not. Yep, we can buy the next one. Let's go ahead. Get the show on the road. So going faster increases your damage. That just sounds like it stacks. This is certainly not going to take very long either way. I do like how every boss has their own music. That's pretty fun. Too bad you can't repeat them and listen to their tracks outside of starting a new game. Oh, we're starting to get really strong. It just took a while. Alright, they're starting to fuse. And we get our story. A hunter's unfinished pursuit. The barbarian's dagger has slaked its long thirst. Now this dagger rests in your hand. The blade is short and thick. the tip etched deep with the marks of beast hide cleaved through. This was not a sword for cutting, but a sword for ending. Once the dagger belonged to a hunter who had spent his life chasing the trail of a great beast. Over mountains and across rivers he followed its tracks, till at last he came to where its breath could be heard. Before that final footprint, his own feet would no longer rise. He took that last step in his place. The dagger's pursuit has come to an end, and the blade may now sleep beside the beast. Okay, we'll go ahead and get ourselves. Did we get to level 85 doing that? That's crazy. Why is it so much higher than... Oh, that's how many stars we have now, what level the sword is. I see, I see. Okay. I was like, I didn't believe that. Okay. No, this'll skyrocket us for sure, though. Get into the 70s will be easy peasy. There we go, all of those are almost fused. Okay, we can open some of these. We'll also max that out sooner or later. Alright, we can also increase that. There we go, those are all maxed. Then it's just whatever we want to. Okay. Hey, we finally got it. That's the last of the relics. So now our weapons are just stronger in an overall sense, so can't stop that now, no more having to worry about relics. Okay, well, I guess this is as good of a point as any to call it here. We can go ahead and buy our next weapon, but weapons, but then we'll be doing them on another session. So now this is the Ice Armory. Yeah, they're not even that significantly stronger. The biggest thing I got going on is the Awakening EXP at the top. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. This journey will continue next time. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye, y'all.